Going in. Fergus Falls Sanatorium.
But this is where they said a lot of people died. This is what the old guys that I talked to last night that started working here in 1948. This is the admission hospital, and they would. Yeah.
This looks more like a modern clinic.
Now it is.
Yeah.
This was admissions for mentally ill. And when they found out how bad they were, then they would put them upstairs. No, we're on the third floor.
Third floor.
I thought this is where the worst people were.
These were bad, yeah. These guys were mean. This is where they locked them up. They had to be in lockup when they acted up. This was all remodeled here not too long ago to put people in here when they acted up.
Holy crap.
They got locked in the room. All there was in there was a mattress on the floor.
Window.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Does that go to the inside?
Yep, that's where they handle their food.
See if they're all right. Where they used to do operations and stuff.
Oh, really?
So this is where the lobotomies were done?
No, this is where they stored everything.
Oh, okay.
The lobotomies were done in those buildings over there.
In the where?
The buildings where you've seen them tunnel with water.
Yep.
There's none of mine.
It's all scratching on the door.
That's a
In some places, like on TV and something, they just burn bodies.
Well, I heard that they buried him in the tunnels in the wall. Was distressed and came down to the Mason shop and hung himself, is all I know, and it was like maybe 50s.
1950s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in, I don't know, 1920 or something, they would give people baths when they acted up, so they turned the hot water and the cold water on, and they stuck this woman in there, and she started slashing around, and they put a cover over and let her sit in it all night. They realized that it was straight scalding hot water, and when they pulled her out, hurts her were fresh, dropped off.
Wow.
And she lived that way for 5 days. I don't know if something poked me or not, but I thought it was.
Nobody was by you.
One of the guys that I wanted to talk to about some of the things that happened here, I called him last night and he says, I'm not ready to talk about anything like that yet.
Oh, wow.
See,
This is Dr. Patterson's apartment.
Sweet, let's do some EVPs in here.
So there aren't any patients in here. Just Dr. Patterson and his wife Marguerite.
wow.
But check out the floor. Every fireplace in here is different, and they all have candles. Yeah. This room was used as their dining room, and food would be brought up with a dumbwaiter, which I believe has been taken out.
Right over here is where the bones were dug up. There's a badger that did it. You shoot right by that tree right over there. That's where all the bones were dug up. There was a female. There was from the elbow to the hand. And we just took and stuck them back down in the hole and put a big brick over the top of them.
That if you park up there, there's a water tower, park up there on a full moon and look down over the cemetery, you see people walking.
Oh, really? Wow.
And he's a source I would trust.
That'd be cool to see.
Because they got calls on it saying there's somebody in the cemetery.
Hi, and welcome to St. Croix Paranormal's TV show. I'm Jill,
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Steve.
and we'd like to welcome Stephanie. You usually don't see her because she's in the back being our camera woman, but today we got Krista behind running everything. Hi, Krista. And today we are going to talk about our visit to the Fergus Falls Insane Asylum. And what we found while we were there, a little bit of history on that, it was built in the late 1800s, kind of erected in the 1900s by a Dr. Kirkbride. With the asylum, he decided to make a different type of setting, so he wanted all the patients who were mentally ill on the farthest part away from everybody, with more open windows, feeling that the fresh air, things like that, would make them feel a little bit more comfortable. With the insane asylum, they had many, many thousands and thousands of deaths there. They had treatments that were unethical, people being put in the hot baths, cold baths. There's been people that have hung themselves, jumped off the building, killed themselves. There were children there. People say you can see the doctor when you drive by at night. We did experience quite a few things while we were there. A little bit on the spirit box session. What I found interesting about that is you don't get any signal on the radio. So how do you explain a voice coming through? And Steph and I had gone into one of these rooms, and it said, "Hi, this is Debbie," and that was crystal clear. And again, it's scanning so quickly if you're getting more than...
I mean, you're getting 13, 14, 15 radio stations in a matter of a second. And it's a direct sentence with the same voice over this amount of time, over this many radio stations. So, I mean, there's plenty of people that are going to agree and say, you can't do that in a normal radio. So what you're getting is one consistent voice over 13 radio stations, and you have to acknowledge that and use that as part of your evidence because it cannot exist in normal time.
Right, right.
Plus, we weren't in a part of the building that didn't have reception. We were down in the basement, and it was, you know, just solid white noise.
Right, right. We'd get a lot of that. We'd hear a lot of hellos, different floors, and different voices coming through that say hello. One time we were there, I was pretending to be a doctor, just to kind of maybe cue the ghosts up and maybe see if we can get them to go. I had said, "My name is Jill, I'm the new doctor here." And you actually hear somebody say, "Hi, Jill," and then another voice come in that says, "Help." The other interesting one I found is, I'm kind of into trying to find out what ghosts are, why they're here, what's going on, what's it like on the other side. So I had been provoking a lot of after-death questions, and you hear a woman come through completely in the gym, and we're not getting any signal, so it's a ding, 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 and all of a sudden a woman says, "Quit asking." So I found that very, very interesting. It's like they didn't want to talk about it. Maybe they can't talk about it. I don't know. But it was pretty interesting, so we'll take a look at some of those spirit box clips, and you can see for yourself. Why do you stay here? I'm the new doctor here. I need to know who my patients are. Can you come say hello? Can you tell me your name? Why are you here? Who's down here?
Anybody here?
There was a time when we took the local media and we took one of the nurses who worked there for 20 years, and we went up to the very far end of the building and decided to sit down and have an EVP session. Cameras were rolling, and we would ask these questions, and when I was looking through the camera lens, you could see these orbs come in, and we'd say, like, sit down, and they would circle around all 3 or 4 of us that were in there, and you could see them, and they would communicate with us. You could just see all kinds of great stuff happening at that particular time, and I put the K2 meter on a chair, and I said I would just sit down, and through the camera lens, you could see this orb come in, go into the chair, and the K2 meter would light up and interact with our K2 meter in direct response to these questions. So we did get a lot of stuff on that side of the building.
Yeah, and we did capture quite a few orbs on film. We had invited about 6 or 7 other people just because the building was so huge. So we had a nice group of volunteers that came out and helped us out with this particular investigation. One girl, Jackie, had a couple really nice we got on film. We have one orb that comes all the way down. You can see it come down her arm, and so it's not showing through, so you know it's not dust. And she also had one where she was standing and it was just kind of circling around that. Beside the orb films, we have plenty of orbs on photo. We have tons of orbs on photo. We do have one really interesting one, and I can't for sure say it is or is not a true shadow figure. But that one happens to, when you look at the picture in the basement hallway, we were down there, and I always shoot 2 to 3 of the same pictures at the same time so that we can go back and review if it's an anomaly or not an anomaly. And it almost looks like somebody standing kind of like this, and we'll show you that photograph of a shadow figure standing out in the basement hallway. And it was pretty cool, so we'll take a look at those clips now.
So during our trip at Fergus, we're going around these rooms, and up on one of the upper floors, Jill and I were kind of walking around checking it out, and we stepped into a room, and it was very like uneasy. I remember walking in and I was very uncomfortable. I've never felt so uncomfortable just walking into a single room, and it was only in the room and not in anywhere else.
But it was really interesting because they said that there, sometime when somebody was there, they saw like a hand come through. There's like a peephole in the door or something, and somebody had been filming and they had seen a hand shoot up on the film. So we decided, hey, let's go in this room. And I did not like the feel of that room. It was just something, and it's a really tiny room, and it used to be a patient's room, but there was just some sort of heaviness, some sort of I don't want you in this room kind of feel. So we tried to ask a few questions, didn't get any EVPs or anything, but there was something definitely that did not want you in that room. And both Steph and I just left saying this something's wrong with this room. So we never did find out the deal, but
Right up to this hole. This door opens back down though. Is that the door? What's the feel of this room? That'd be bad.
In the door.
There's somebody in here?
was this just a patient's room, Beth? You know, back in the day?
That's from giving me creeps. I'm like shivering all over the place.
You shivering?
I'm outie.
I don't like the feel of it in the room at all. It's creepy. I don't like it at all. And I don't usually get too many feelings that often. It's just something weird about that room.
I'm usually not the first one to leave a room.
Yeah, she even said.
Ew.
As soon as I walked in, it was totally different.
I don't like it. It's weird. It's just I don't like it. Is that what I'm feeling when I come up here, maybe?
Could be. We decided to step outside, and we were going to go check out the other outbuildings that are at the facility. And we had brought up a couple of guests with us to help us out. And as we were all exiting outside to go to the, what was it, that laundry room or something where they
Wasn't
did
it the, not the laundry room?
the workshop, laundry room, something like that.
Paint shop.
Paint shop. And as we were exiting, we heard a man's voice, and we caught it on film. You can't make out what it's saying. I don't know if it's like a hello or a wait, but you could hear something. And it came from behind us, but yet we were already standing outside, so as the door was shutting, you could like hear it. So again, we don't want 100% call it paranormal, but everybody said, did you just hear that? And so it could potentially have been somebody walking around outside. Just because it came behind us and everybody heard it, and it seemed like it came from in the building. So it's kind of interesting clip, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that.
Whoa. What's that?
Did you hear that?
I did hear something. What did I hear?
Somebody said hello.
Voice now, but yeah. I think that was outside.
And when we were there, each team member carried a walkie-talkie, and we had quite a few instances when sounded like a child coming through saying different things. Everybody had different experiences. We're going to show you different clips from. My team had felt it. We had Dan and Derek's team feel it. Steve's team had issues with it. We would just hear a child coming through. You got most of the child coming through. I was in the basement a lot when this was happening, so there's not a whole lot of signal going on. What kind of stuff were you hearing coming through, Steve?
Well, throughout the night, walking through the building, it felt like somebody was playing with a walkie-talkie on our channel, and I would always interject and say, Jill, is there something you need? What's going on with this walkie-talkie? And it always kept getting that click, 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 and then nothing would happen. So eventually we made our way around to the basement, and we could hear knocking on the door. However, the door was locked. There's nobody downstairs. And then right when we started going back up the stairs, it clicked in with a child's voice, and it said, hello, I love you. Now, it's after midnight. There's nobody in our group. There's no child in the building. There's nobody in the area. It's a very remote part of Fergus Falls. And on our channel, we get a little kid. I clicked on and I said, Jill, did you just get that on yours? She said yes. And I was dumbfounded. I tried to communicate, and it didn't do nothing. And then it chimed in again. We started walking up these stairs, and it just kept talking. And we almost had a communication, but it wasn't like it was directly communicating with us. So Jill and I were talking on the walkie-talkies to each other, and there was this going on for 5 minutes, and then
Squelching on and off throughout the night.
The whole
there was
night,
that
yeah.
one instant that you had that it was just constantly,
Yeah.
and nobody else ever got that on, and we're all on the same channel. We'll take a look at the clips, but it's really hard to call it paranormal for a couple reasons. We're just going to show it to you because we find it interesting. The reason we're not going to, I feel that we can't 100% call it paranormal is because we were not on a secure channel, but however, it's awfully weird that you have a small child at that time of night and would never return any of our questions. So you figure if it's a child and they're just goofing off, playing, messing with people, they're going to actually answer you back.
call over. What do you need?
Nothing, not me.
10-4-0.
Jim.
I don't know, maybe they're pushing the buttons on it. Nothing, not me.
Because none of us are walking.
Is someone here? It's happened a couple times during the night. I can't recall where I was at the time.
Yeah, okay, it's just, knowing a coincidence, I guess. Thanks.
Over.
Can you liven up our night and show us that you exist?
Can you knock on a wall or a door?
For the record, the video or our radios are going off.
Can you make any sounds for us?
Steve to Jill, over.
What's up?
Just wondering if your walkie-talkies are kind of going haywire again.
Well, they keep clicking on and off like somebody's gonna say something and nothing happens.
Yeah, that's what we get too, and then our K2 meter goes, berserk, and you get all kinds of squelching and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not wondering if that's paranormal or if that's just interference from something.
Yeah, it's hard to say. We just came up from the basement. We didn't get...
Come in, hello. Hi, who is this?
Is there anything that you would like to tell us?
Come in.
Jack.
Jack.
Little boy.
I did too.
I have the key and it sounded like another voice came over yours.
time.
Yep.
There's a kid on there that says I love you.
Yeah, I kept hearing other voices come through too.
What?
Was that like this? Yeah, that was clear as day though.
They can be.
What would it take for someone outside to have a radio on our channel?
Yeah, true.
These are generic. You guys should have the
But
security.
one little girl is up this way, so I guess this is.
But there, we just passed the stairwell, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I guess they're messing with us.
Well, I don't know what this kid thing is, but it's kind of interesting.
Well,
It's not all the time.
who was it? I think it was Dan or somebody piped in going, it was probably some kid messing on our channel.
I would agree with that, except where it's
All night long, I've been getting like, shit, and I think it's you, and I go, did you need
It's not-
something?
I know,
And
that's
you're
what-
like, no, I didn't need nothing.
His walkie's been screwing up. It just makes this weird noise.
It was
It's only
just-
him.
It's only the one. It's like the one's like just being tugged and pushed like that. So I said, forget that, I just put it away. Come on.
This is our bravest investigator, camera woman. We were walking through the tunnels. The tunnels are really cool. This was probably, wouldn't you agree, the darkest place we have ever been to in our entire place
Ever.
There's
investigating. And you could not, I mean, I had to constantly turn on a white light because I couldn't see, you know, my hand in front of my face. That's how dark it is. And so we're in these tunnels underground. We have no idea where we're going. We're just checking them out. And Steph was just kind of commenting on how she was getting the backsides of everybody. So I asked her to go first. And she took one for me because I was wearing my nice boots. And I almost got them soaked. But why don't we take a look at that? And we're really proud of Steph taking one for the team there.
Joe, I'm warning you ahead of time. I'm getting a lot of pictures of butts right now.
Ah, they let you go first.
This is just kind of a small area.
Well, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Big butts and I cannot lie.
Nope, not going further.
Nope, me neither. No, not with the
Nope,
ball.
I don't do water. All right, I just got all wet.
At least you weren't wearing the slippers. Okay, there's the table.
Table.
So thanks for watching our show. This is St. Croix Paranormal. Doing a show on Fergus Falls Regional Treatment Center.
Hopefully you enjoyed the evidence that we got for you today. Again, check us out at st.croixparanormal.com or view us up on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks for joining us and have a good night.
Well, that's nice closing music.